After defeating the Penrith Panthers in the preliminary final last week at home, the Brisbane Broncos have fought their way back to another grand final. An event the club, the biggest club in the league, hasn't won since 2006. Funnily enough, where they faced their opponents on Sunday, the Melbourne Storm. They've had 2 attempts since, both that ended in particularly outrageous and cruel heartbreaks. One of which I highlighted in a video I made at the beginning of the year, about the potentiality of Ben Hunt's last bit of redemption. I must be an oracle or something, because in his first year back at the club that started it all, he is only 80 minutes away from that storybook ending becoming a reality. Redemption, as I said in my previous video, has always been tied to Ben Hunt for years since the 2022 State of Origin decider. He's already redeemed himself. He probably already had before that moment even. But it'll be indisputable. It will be one of the great all-time rugby league stories if he can pull this one off. But even outside of himself, redemption has been a reoccurring theme for his club all final series. This is a Broncos team made up of many of the 2023 Grand Final Broncos team that went down to the Panthers in harrowing fashion that night. Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan, Reece Walsh, Ezra Mann, they all want redemption for dropping that ball, pun perhaps intended, with 20 minutes to go 2 years ago. You can't tell me redemption wasn't achieved last week at home in front of a raucous, packed home crowd when they ended the dynasty of a lifetime's great premiership winning streak. Adam Reynolds himself was part of half of the teams that Penrith beat to build that premiership-winning dynasty on the back of the 2021 Rabbits and, as we've discussed, the 2023 Broncos. Famously, he missed a kick to even up the scores with only minutes remaining in 2021, and last week in the preliminary final, on the same ground, in nearly the exact same identical position, he kicked the goal that sealed the Broncos' win. You can't tell me that redemption wasn't achieved there also. Michael Maguire was fired from the worst team in the comp halfway through the 2021 season, after 3 years of trying to turn the West Tigers around. When you get sacked from the club coming last, there's not really anywhere else to go. But Madge, through great achievements in the representative arena for both New Zealand and New South Wales, landed the Broncos' job, though he was still heavily derided. Halfway through the year, I thought he might not even make it to the end of the year, as the Broncos were failing and the Hounds were circling. But somehow, here we are on the eve of the grand final, as he's overseeing the preparations for a potential grand final winning team. There's no greater coaching redemption than last getting rid of you, and you turning in a premiership at the biggest club in the league only a few years later. Redemption for the Broncos on Sunday isn't just a Ben Hunt issue. It's a team issue, but you can't help but believe it's still the main event act. It's the storyline I'm most looking forward to seeing conclude. 10 years on exactly, you can't help but hope the game is close in the dying moments and he has some hand in a game-winning play. He's already done it once this final series. Perhaps he can do it again. You couldn't write a better story. Though just tackling blokes and winning the damn thing is probably fine also. Think of the narrative though. I can see the 50k viewed The Rise, Fall and Rise of Ben Hunt video essays from here. It'll be printing money. Let's put all that potential coin on Ben Hunt Clive Churchill, shall we?